Thank you for taking the time and wanting to learn a bit more about how compounding works with the PAMM accounts offered through Novatech. In this video, I'm going to show you the power of how compounding your weekly interest payments through a PAMM account can work for you without requiring you doing anything else. With Novatech, the company has averaged a weekly return rate of 3% for the past 3 years. This is not guaranteed. However, Novatech has a proven track record with documentation to show that they've averaged a weekly return of 3%. According to Albert Einstein, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. Legendary investor Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest people on the planet, has called compound interest an investor's best friend because it grows at a faster rate than simple interest, since it earns returns not only on your initial investment, but on the interest you accumulate as well. And the longer your money has to grow, the more interest it can earn. This is traditionally understood when investing in ETFs or mutual funds through a Roth IRA or a 401k, which typically doubles over the course of 7 years. This is an extremely slow process and requires constant contributions in order to compress that time frame. However, there is now an alternative with the PAMM accounts offered through Novatech. Novatech offers you a transparent view into their trading performance on a weekly basis. This document starts in October 2nd of 2020, and they average 3.58%. Every single week they release a report, such as this one, and the documentation continues. If we go to modern times, which is August 5th, 2022, this is the previous week that just closed. They earned 3.64%. All of their trading performance is documented here in the back office. If you scroll down, we had July's week, and again, you can go all the way back to their trading performance from October of 2020. Now that we have an understanding of their track record, let's start with an initial investment of $500 to open up the PAMM account. Here we have an interest calculator that will help us to do the math for compounding interest. If we start an account with $500 and we put in their performance of 3% averaging on a weekly basis, and we did that for 7 months, plus we took out $25, which is the cost of their monthly maintenance fee, which comes out of the account, your $500 at an average rate of 3% over the course of 7 months would come out to be $960, nearly double in just 7 months. Now, this isn't guaranteed, but this is based on a 3% average weekly return that they have already proven to have accomplished in the last 3 years. Most people spend $500 on random things or keep it in a bank account without doing anything in regards to allowing your hard-earned dollars to work for you. Let's now compound for 2 years without any additional contributions. If you took your $500 and you compounded it over the course of 2 years and you took out your $25 monthly maintenance fee, that $500 would have turned into $7,041.08. If you let that same $500 sit in there, let's say for 3 years, that $7,000 turns into $32,000. That's the power of compounding. The rate at which $500 grew to $7,000 in 1 year grows exponentially faster when you start your second year with that $7,000 balance. Now, if we start our third year going into our fourth with a $32,000 balance, and we did that for another year, that would be $148,000. If we let it sit for another year, starting with our year at $148,000, in our fifth year, our $500 would eventually turn into $690,000 over the course of 5 years with an average 3% weekly return based on performance of the company's trades. If we let it sit for just one more year, we've turned $500 into $3.2 million. Now, obviously, with returns like this, high returns are usually involved with high risk. I encourage you to take this calculator and plug in the numbers yourself and play around with it to see what kind of initial balance you'd like to start with, how long your term would be, and maybe any additional deposits you'd put in. Because if, let's say, we added $500 plus an extra $100 a month for a term of 6 years, that $3.2 million would have turned into $12 million, just from an extra $100 contribution. I encourage you to go through this website, which is in the description below, and play with this calculator with some figures that make sense for you. If this is something that you're interested in learning more about, check the link out in the description below or reach out to the person who has shared this video with you to get started today.